can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost with me, Prathik S Vinod. Let's get started. On the show today, Pakistan's Asia Cup campaign has taken an ugly turn. The team isn't making headlines for cricket, but for embarrassments on the global stage. The ICC has reportedly pulled up Pakistan over the handshake row with India. They have been reprimanded for delaying their clash against the UAE and even for filming their meeting with ICC referee Andy Pycroft. And that's not all. The PCB is also under fire for alleged corruption over subpar jerseys at the tournament. Next up, while the Pakistan Cricket Board uses the sport to push political agendas, their citizens are using the sports for fraud and immigration scams. A fake football team was arrested in Japan. Has Pakistan really stooped this low? All that and more, but first the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with cricket, Afghanistan has been knocked out of the Asia Cup after losing to Sri Lanka. Seasoned campaigner Mohammad Nabi put up a brave fight. He scored 60 and hit 5 sixes in the final over to take Afghanistan to 169. Sri Lanka chased the target inside 19 overs to finish as table toppers. Moving to football, Marcus Rashford announced his arrival in Barcelona with a match-winning performance in the Champions League. The English forward, who's on loan from Manchester United, scored a brace in Barcelona's 2-1 win over Newcastle. He scored 2 goals for Barcelona in 5 matches so far. Meanwhile, Argentina has been rocked by fresh controversy around Diego Maradona's estate. A Buenos Aires court ordered the seizure of $1.34 million in assets from 2 of Maradona's extended family members and lawyers. The ruling found them guilty of fraud in handling Maradona's brand. The court verdict sided with Maradona's children, who argue the estate should have passed to them after his death in 2020. In news from the World Athletics Championship, it was a day of heartbreak for India in the javelin event. Defending champion Neeraj Chopra finished in the 8th spot. Neeraj recorded a best throw of 84.03 meters. Meanwhile, Sachin Yadav came within touching distance of a medal. He finished 4th with a best throw of 86.2 meters. And summing it up with badminton, Indian shuttler PV Sindhu bowed out of the China Masters. The 2-time Olympic medalist suffered a straight game defeat to An Se-young. Sindhu went down 14-21, 13-21 in just 38 minutes. Pakistan's Asia Cup campaign has gone from bad to worse. Every move they make to keep the spotlight on themselves is only pushing them deeper into embarrassment. The infamous handshake row has boomeranged on the Pakistan Cricket Board. While they demand that India and the ICC match referee Andy Pycroft face sanctions, it is actually Pakistan who are in the dock, facing the possibility of punishment. And to top off the drama, their board is now facing fresh allegations of supplying substandard jerseys to their own players. So the real question, is Pakistan cricket becoming a global laughing stock? Let's quickly rewind. India hammered Pakistan in their Asia Cup clash, a 7-wicket thrashing after all the build-up and the noise. But instead of focusing on their cricketing failures, Pakistan milked the handshake incident for headlines. Before the toss, Suryakumar Yadav did not shake hands with Salman Ali Agha. And after the game, the Indian players walked past the Pakistanis again. Was it against the laws of cricket? Absolutely not. But Pakistan's board and their former stars blew it out of proportion. Former captain Misbah-ul-Haq even claimed that India should be punished.
There are very strict regulations in the sport for these kind of things. If you bring any political statement or even a gesture to the cricket field, there are very heavy penalties. And you can even get a ban as a player. So I think it's absolutely not allowed.
The ICC code is about political gestures. It's not about customary handshakes, not about dedicating a win to the Indian Army. If that's the case, how would the PCB defend dedicating the entire Pakistan Premier League to their army earlier this year? Pakistan were clutching at straws here. What followed was even worse. The PCB actually filed a formal complaint to the ICC. They even dragged match referee Andy Pycroft into the mess, blaming him for quote-unquote mishandling the situation. The ICC swiftly rejected Pakistan's complaint, but instead of moving on, the PCB doubled down and even threatened to boycott. Ahead of their match against the UAE, Andy Pycroft visited Pakistan's team to clarify matters, reportedly to clear the air about what happened. But PCB and their media twisted it. They branded it as a so-called apology. They ran headlines claiming the ICC match referee had apologized, said sorry to Pakistan, a clear fake narrative designed to make the PCB look like a victim. And that's exactly where Pakistan crossed the line, because according to reports, the ICC has now pulled them up for multiple violations of tournament rules. One, for delaying the UAE match by almost an hour, and two, for filming the Pycroft meeting. So while Pakistan screams for sanctions against India, it is the PCB themselves staring at punishment, a textbook case of self-goal and global embarrassment. But that's not the end of the humiliation. Even their own people are furious. Former Pakistani player Atiq-uz-Zaman slammed the board for giving players low-quality kits to wear.
Pakistan players are sweating through low-quality kits while others wear proper dry fits. This is what happens when tenders go to friends, not professionals. Corruption dripping more than the sweat.
The board itself is facing corruption allegations, and yet the PCB tries to hide all their failures behind the India card. Because let's face it, Pakistan cricket is in decline. No ICC trophy since 2017, no wins against India in their last 6 encounters, constant hammerings and a massive gulf in quality. Their cricket has slipped, their credibility has slipped, and now their dignity is slipping too. So what do? They play the victim card. They maneuver and manufacture controversies. They feed their fans half-truths to hide their own failures. But here's the real truth and the unavoidable one. The real victim here is Pakistan cricket, hurt by their own doing. And until the board admits that, until they stop using India as a distraction, and until they clean up the corruption and improve their management and face the harsh reality of their cricket, they will keep losing. Not just on the field, but off it too. From the jerseys on their backs, to the fake narratives in their media, to the penalties they now face from the ICC. Pakistan cricket is writing its own downfall, one embarrassing chapter at a time. So Pakistan's cricket team is using sports to push their political agendas. But what about the rest of the country? They are using sports as a shield for illegal activities. A fake Pakistani football team reached Japan. Let me repeat that, a fake football team from Pakistan. The Japanese authorities exposed the fraud and 22 suspects claiming to be players were arrested. Is Pakistan now using sports for immigration fraud? 22 men pretending to be footballers travelled in full gear with forged papers, and they claimed links with Pakistan's Football Federation. But the Japanese authorities were not fooled. They saw through this drama and exposed the fraud. They deported every single one of them back to Pakistan. And now the big question is, how did these so-called players even leave Pakistan in the first place? Here's what the reports say. The fake team carried a forged no objection certificate stamped with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs' seal. They even flashed fake PFF documents to immigration officers. In short, an elaborate con that could only happen because of loopholes and negligence within Pakistan's own system. The man behind this shameful act? A human trafficking agent named Malik Waqas. He floated a fake club called the Golden Football Trial and charged every player a whopping $15,000 each for the fake dream of Japan. But here's the shocking part, or rather the most shocking part. This wasn't his first attempt. Last year, the same man used the same playbook. He sent 17 men to Japan posing as another fake football club. Not a single one of them ever returned. And sadly, this isn't just about football. It's a trend across sports in Pakistan. Athletes are now using sports visas to vanish abroad. Take hockey, for example. Last year, 4 players from Pakistan's national hockey team tried to seek asylum in Europe. They had travelled on official visas for tournaments and simply decided to not come back. Then there's boxing. Pakistan's own Zohaib Rashid an Asian Championship bronze medalist. He flew to Italy for Olympic qualifiers, robbed his own teammates and then disappeared. And it doesn't stop there. At the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, 2 Pakistani boxers went missing hours before the contingent was set to fly back home. They even left their passports behind while fleeing. These incidents are not one-offs. There's a symptom of a system collapsing. Pakistan's sporting structure is in absolute ruins. Hockey players have openly accused their federation of not paying salaries on time. Boxers complain of zero support. And elite footballers, they are selling goods on the street. One of them turned to hawking. So when the structure offers nothing, naturally fraudsters step in. Athletes and even fake athletes see sport as a ticket out. And conmen like Waqas exploit it. But the most shocking part of this latest scandal is what it says about Pakistan's governance. If someone can forge Pakistan Football Federation papers, if someone can fake a Ministry of Foreign Affairs stamp, and if immigration officers can wave them through without a second thought, then what does that say about the country's system? It screams negligence, it screams corruption, and it screams how casual Pakistan has become with its institutions. Pakistan's cricket team is crying about handshakes and conspiracies, but in the real world, their own athletes, officials, and conmen are using sport as a cover for crime. At the end of the day, it's a mirror showing the state of Pakistan's sport, its institutions, its credibility on the global stage. While their leaders waste time spinning narratives against India, scandals like the fake football team are exposing them on the world stage. Time for Last Serve. Before the Formula One blockbuster in Baku this weekend, let's shift gears to a different kind of high-speed thrill. Over in Italy, Fabio Barone has done it again. The legendary driver has just smashed his 7th world record. He's the fastest person ever, by the way, to drive on the deck of an aircraft carrier. An unbelievable blend of speed, precision, and sheer courage. Here's a look at his crowning moment. That's all we have for you on this episode of Firstpost. You can catch news and updates on our YouTube page as well as our website. Thank you so much for joining us.